We're here for the Hearthstone podcast. It's back. Yeah. All right. Who do I have with me today? Well, very simple. To the right of me, I have Mr. Darren's with us. And below the two of us, we have Vaughn, Metatrain God, right? You acted in a commercial.
Yeah, I'm not gonna reveal it. But if you find it, though, if you find it,
I'll see. Look, I'm already learning new things about Darren's. Look, this is good. This is good. I like this.
I'm not telling you.
I don't know if you guys know what Crazy Taxi.
Crazy Taxi, yeah.
But yeah, that's how I got into it, and then that's actually the first time that is my first even English word that I've learned. Crazy, and yeah.
Really?
Oh no. I think it's time to fully talk about the big elephant in the room. The elephant that is on this train, that is the meta train. Because we have been talking about the meta train, but actually, what is the meta train? You know, what goes on in the meta train? What is important when you're when you're doing the meta train? How does one join the meta train, for example? How does one make money off the meta train? I can keep going on with these questions, and you guys are going to answer them. Hello, are we here? Hello? I think so. Yeah, I think so.
I think
Look,
we're here. Yeah, we're chilling.
they're here. Okay, you guys are all on Discord as well. Or on the stream. That's very good.
Yeah.
We're here for the Hearthstone podcast. It's back. Yeah. All right. So before we begin, first things first. Where's Will? Because this man over here, you know, he's not Will. This is Darren's. We'll talk about him later. Where's Will? Will basically had a change in schedule. He was originally organizing the podcast, and I was there, you know, as a co-host, you know, being his little, you know, angel on his shoulder, helping him out, you know, suggesting stuff. And you know, Will be back, but for now, you're gonna have to do it with me. So yeah, here I am, in front of a green screen, being all fancy. So yeah, who do I have with me today? Well, very simple. To the right of me, I have Mr. Darren's with us. And below the two of us, we have Vaughn. And actually, Vaughn, I'm gonna say this. Is it Von Nui, or am I mispronouncing it?
It is Von Nui. You can just call me Von or Cad. It's all good.
Cad, Vaughn,
Yes.
Von Nui,
Yeah.
Metatrain God, right? So yeah, so yeah, what are we going to talk about? Well, I mean, you can see it down below, right? The Hearthstone podcast. This one is all about the Metatrain. It's all aboard the Metatrain, which we came up with after some. Oh, I don't know. I was talking to Melina, right, about promoting it, and I thought it was a good name. These lads didn't have anything to do with it. We just came up with it.
Yeah. It is a good
Yeah,
name. I like
it was a good.
It is a good one. Yeah, I agree.
I think it's a good title. But yeah, Darren's Vaughn.
Yeah.
I know you guys a little bit, right?
Yeah, you know.
Introduce
you know,
yourselves.
yes.
Who are you?
Yeah,
what are you doing?
Well, I'm gonna start because I don't know why. But,
Yeah,
hey,
go.
I am Darren's. I'm Darren's, and I run a lot of meta trains for Hearthstone. I think I started on December not 2022, 2021, with a little bit of people, and I started doing it every weekday since then. I don't think some days family stuff or IRL stuff I have to stop. But we do it every weekday, and get a lot of gold for everyone, and we have fun, and we try and honestly get as many people as we can. Try to get not only one squad, because usually you get one squad for each meta, but multiple maps as much as people as we can. And now we're starting doing, of course, with Vaughn. He's one of the leaders on EU that runs the same meta at the same time on EU, and we race each other kind of like as a fun meme. And we try, trying to make good content out of it. Have fun with everyone and hang out.
Yeah,
That's the thing.
Who are you, Vaughn?
Well,
Tell me.
all right.
Introduce yourself.
All right. Well, it's time for me, I guess. I'm Vaughn. You can call me Cad. Vaughn. It's fine. All's fine. I've actually started playing the game about 4 months ago. And I'm super new to the game. I have had experiences with the game like years ago, but I really didn't take it serious. And I actually got my commander tag, and I immediately was like hooked on the game, and I wanted to just lead and everything, right? So I started streaming the game on my day 4 or something like that. And I got hooked to the game hardcore, and I started leading stuff. I was leading, I don't know, strikes. I was leading meta trains. I was leading raids. And then one day when I was ending my stream, I was like, oh my god, look at this streamer who's called Darren's with S. They're also doing meta trains. Wow. That's good. Let's raid them. And I decided to raid them. And I found out he was doing meta trains for 5 hours at least every day. This Giga Chad, making tons of gold. And then he just asked me, hey, you want to actually do this together? And I was like, you know what? Sounds like good. Sounds like good plan. And
awesome.
then we just took off. Now we're just like blasting every day.
Yeah, honestly, I can't believe that was the reason. I just completely forgot
Yeah.
that was how it was. I was very lucky that we got you, dude. Holy, that's insane. I don't remember. Oh,
Yeah.
It was so random. Yeah, he just like asked me, "Hey, you wanna do this together?" And I was like, "Sure, why
that's
not?"
awesome. Yeah.
And then we got some like synergy going, and the raises just got super hype and everything. So ever since then, we're just having fun, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to lead raids and whatnot too, raid strikes and everything. I'm just trying to like learn the game at a rapid pace and trying to lead it, you know, as much as I can.
Awesome, awesome. You did mention you started playing the game like a long time ago. What is a long time ago? Is that like the launch of Guild Wars 2? Is that like somewhere in between? Do you have like an idea like what was the state of the game at the time? Like was it after expansion or?
I actually don't remember any expansions or anything like that. Not because maybe it didn't have it, but it's rather that I actually don't remember. It was about 5.5 years ago, if I'm correct.
Okay, so 5.5 years ago is roughly Path of Fire era. So yeah.
And I had like I played the game to level 35 or something. I actually didn't play at all, so I just let it go after a week, and then that was it. Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, no, and you started like how many months ago? Like this time that you actually played?
4 months ago, actually. My /H should be like 125 days at the moment, actually.
Yeah, not that much.
Well, I mean, it depends. Did you recreate your character? Maybe if you did.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, then you won't be able to see it. Yeah. I mean, that kind of sucks. Then you would have been able to see like how old the actual character was. But
oh yeah, I know that. I have gotten onto that character actually. It's exactly like 5 years and something. The months I don't remember, but the years is like 5 years. Yeah.
Yep. Right. But of course, that is the here and now, right? Let's. Of course, we've all been small little peepos. When we did the first episode, we asked Teapot, for example, how did you get into gaming? Because it's not, you know, I've heard there are people in Heartstug that have only gotten into gaming 2 years ago, and they're like pretty much my age, like 28-ish. When did you guys start? Like, what did you get into? Where did it all come from?
You want to go ahead, Terrence?
Okay, I don't know. Yeah, I think first game. I think the first game I ever played was like I think it was called Hugo or something like that. It was like this little like goblin guy who's like trying to like escape from a plane or something.
Hugo, Turok?
I don't remember. It was a very weird game that and I don't know where I got it from. Oh, also there's like I don't know if you guys had this in your countries, but cereal boxes used to come with like little CDs of like little games, and I remember I used to play those. I remember Boogie something. I really liked that card game. It was good. And I guess at some point I started moving to like console games. I started like playing Pokemon. I think at some point I got some money because I was a kid. I think I actually acted in like a commercial and I got like $100. So I bought a GameCube with that, and then I started playing games with that. And and then from there on, you start you start playing a lot of games and you start getting to a lot of things. And MMOs were definitely one of those, right?
You acted in a commercial.
Yeah, I'm not gonna reveal it. But if you find it, though, if you find it,
I'll see. Look, I'm already learning new things about Darren's. Look, this is good. This is good. I like this.
I'm not telling you. If you find it, guys, you can do it. But I mean,
I bet it's Don Juan.
It's hidden.
Don Juan, yeah.
I mean, maybe,
a little bit of a stream meme for those that know. Yeah,
it'll be like
it will be good. Yeah,
maybe I can do it like as a sub goal.
1 million subs.
Yeah, we can reveal the commercial.
Oh man,
I like it. It was horrible. I didn't like working as a kid.
Basically, you know, the Hugo. People in the chat, they actually apparently say that Hugo's very good, so might have to check that out.
Yeah, there you go. See?
Yeah, people
know.
love Hugo.
I
Yeah,
know Hugo too.
I don't know what it is.
Hugo's
You know, I've been
Oh,
living
man.
under a rock. Yeah, Dutch rock. It's not good.
I mean, it's
No,
just, it's a very weird game. I mean, it's just, I don't know.
I'll look it up after this. It's, like, I'm interested now.
It was like a
Um,
bunch of mini games, right?
I don't know.
Oh, you
I
don't
don't know.
remember?
Oh.
Okay.
I want to say one more thing though. I also know a game that I used to play. It was called Abracadabra. It's like a Spanish learning game. Oh, because I speak Spanish, right? I'm from a Spanish speaking country, and there's like this like video game to like make you learn like words and a lot of stuff, right? Like you know, like as a kid, you need to learn how to write and everything. And I like that one, and everybody in my school also liked it, so it was good. So if you guys, maybe some people have played that too. That'd be funny.
Mhm.
Mr. Vaughn, enlighten
Yeah.
us.
Hey. Well, it's funny. I want to mention this. A lot of people are saying in the chat that they had Hugo on their TV. We had that too, actually. You could call in. You would play through the keypads on the phone.
Mm.
Yeah, it was very interesting. It was one of the things that I loved watching. I think I tried to call once, but I failed to get it because this was a lot of people. But yeah. Well, I got into gaming around the age of like 6, 7, I think, because my uncle, he was like us, basically. He was one of us, guys. He
Mhm.
was like addicted to games. My first game,
Would you say that he was hard stuck to games?
yes, pretty much, yes, yeah. Well, but my first game was, I remember, I think it was either Tomb Raider, the first game, or Crazy Taxi. I don't know if you guys know what Crazy Taxi.
Crazy Taxi, yeah.
Yes,
I played that on an
Uh,
arcade once. I think that's the only time I actually got to play it. Like on an
it
arcade.
was a good game. It was a good game. But yeah, that's how I got into it, and then that's actually the first time that is my first even English word that I've learned. Crazy, and
Oh,
yeah,
really? Oh, that's
Oh no.
awesome.
Crazy.
funny enough, yeah. Afterwards, yeah, I got hooked onto an MMO called Maple Story, and at that point, that is the point where I started learning English hardcore, and pretty much like just took off from there.
Mhm.
But yeah, that was pretty much it, man. Like it was 7, 6. I started playing games, and getting into Maple Story was the point where I got hooked onto MMOs in general. I always loved them. I didn't even know they were called MMOs until I was like 15, 16 or something. But I always found some kind of attractiveness towards them, and then then Guild Wars happened.
Yeah, I mean, exactly right. Like, there's just something. I mean, I have this as well. My first MMO, I guess, was RuneScape that I played,
Ooh.
and I think for a lot of people that was like the first MMO, and you kind of get hooked on it because of the online aspect. You know, you can play with friends fairly easily. RuneScape had the addition that you didn't actually have to pay for the game because we were all children, we didn't have any money, and parents were like, no, we're not playing for an online video game. Are you crazy? And that's also how I eventually got to Guild Wars. Like a friend of mine, for example, he died in RuneScape, lost all his stuff, and he's like, man, F this game. I'm playing something else. And he bought Guild Wars, and I kind of tagged along. And yeah, it had no sub fee as well, just like RuneScape, just had to buy it once, right? And then that's how I kind of found Guild Wars. But how did you guys eventually end up with Guild Wars?
You want to start one? You can do it.
Sure. Funnily enough, I was actually streaming before I started Guild Wars. I was streaming League of Legends, and yeah, I was trying to climb for the first time in my life. I was managing it, but then a friend of mine who's called Joshua Katz, he's actually in the chat too.
Oh,
He was like, "Hey, I'm gonna start." Like he also streams every Monday and Wednesday and whatnot. He was like, "I'm gonna play some Guild Wars." Guild Wars 1, in fact, and he started playing it. And he invited me, and I was like, "Nah, man, I gotta climb. I have to climb. I have to climb in League." And he was like, "You have to do it." I'm like, "No. If I start it right now, I will stop climbing." And he was like, "You have to do it." I denied it multiple times until he switched to Guild Wars 2. I watched the streams for about like 2-3 weeks. I was like, the mounts look really fun in this game. And that was it. He showed me the Griffin. He showed me the Beetle. And I was like, okay. You know what?
Yep, the mounts are good.
League means nothing to me. I must get a Griffin. I must get a Beetle. I must race. Funny enough, I got into the game. I got to level 80 in like 3 days or so. I got my Griffin. The same day I got Griffin, I got reached out by someone who was in Wing, the guild, the Griffin guild, the same day.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, you gotta hang out with us. I'm like, yep, there we go.
It's cool, right? Fine. Yeah. I mean, there must be some of the Wing guys must be in chat. Like, maybe like Penguin is here.
Yeah,
he's usually around. Yeah, Wing is the Griffin guild that does. Yeah, look, there he is. Hey ho.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the Wing guild. For those that don't know, Wing guild is a guild based around like Griffin activities. Maybe some of these guys can like post some videos in the chat if they want to like show off a little bit. I'll maybe like make a little bit of a link dump so people that are listening along on YouTube later can also go back and check that out. Is it more like a cult? Yeah, it is like a cult. They're all about birds, but then again, birds are pretty good. Yeah,
birds are cute.
All right, Mr. Darrens.
Nice.
Now we know how Vaughn got stuck to this game. How about you?
Yeah, well, mine. Well, I guess it's a good ending, but yeah, look, essentially what happened is that I used to play MMOs, like free to play MMOs, because I was a kid and I had money. And I used to play a lot of weird games, like like Angels Online and Tales of Paradise, like very, very scuffed MMOs. They were very, very bad. They were pay to win. They were horrible. Ragnarok Online as well. And at some point, I have a friend that he was really into Warcraft. He got us into Warcraft 3. We did, like the whole like story. We played some, some custom maps and whatever. And then he started getting us, because of course we played Warcraft, into WoW, right? He was paying for it, and we didn't really, we were like, I don't know about this one. You have to pay. That's weird. And it was pretty expensive back then. And because I live in Chile, right? It was kind of scuffed to like ask like, oh, Dad, can you please just pay this random stranger, you don't know, this random company for like a game? Oh my god! And they, essentially they did it, and I started playing that game, and I played that for a few years when I was a kid. I played like an insane amount. It was like a complete addiction. I would like wake up, play the game, not study, and then eat, go to sleep, and do it again. I remember a lot of times actually. I actually the only thing we did though with my friends were like level up. We would get to level 80 and then we would create another character and do it again. And actually, I remember that a lot of times like I had like friends like they would go to sleep and they're like, oh, I'm level 57. Darren's level 52. What a dumbass! I'm gonna I'm much higher than him. And then I would wake up at 7 a.m. and just completely get all those levels and win against them. It was great. And eventually I stopped because it was getting too much. Okay, I was playing way too much, and real life need to be done. I need to go to college and actually study. Okay, and I did that for a few years. I just play other games like League, and that was a mistake though, because I wasted probably more time and I was completely miserable. But that's another thing, right? But if you play League, okay. And then
Vaughn knows. He knows.
Yeah,
I think everyone knows, man.
Everybody knows, okay?
Yeah.
I don't know. I never played League, so
Yeah,
I'm not planning to.
Don't. Yeah, don't. Yeah,
Diablo Immortal is probably better, honestly. Yeah, okay. And eventually, I come back to WoW because I was kind of, I don't know, I missed I missed playing that game, playing MMOs, and I got into Legion. I started watching people like Asmongold and Tao and everyone. And I really into it again, but in a healthy manner. Okay, I really like the game, and eventually it was horrible because BFA happened. The game was kind of boring, everything was horrible, and I quit. And I was like, well, I need to get into another MMO. I need this in my life. I tried every MMO. I couldn't really do Final Fantasy 14, even though I love Final Fantasy and I love Final Fantasy story. It's just that it was a bit too much for me. It was like too much story, not enough gameplay for me. I tried ESO, I tried all of them, and ended up stocking up with Guild Wars 2. Although I do remember that back in the day, in 2012, I forgot about that one. I did try the game. I bought it. I have it around here, and but essentially I ended up quitting for a while, regardless, because there was not enough content, and I was a dumb kid, and I didn't understand how it worked, honestly. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, and then I got me in here, and I'm happy. Okay, I'm happy in Guild Wars 2 land. even with the problems it has, I'm way happier. Okay, so there you go.
Yes.
That's my story.
I mean, it's not really that crazy that some people left the game definitely around launch, because Guild Wars 2 was a very different game back then. Definitely not as much content as it has nowadays. Especially near the end game part. Basically, at launch it was dungeons. Fractals weren't even in the game yet. Raids weren't a thing until like first expansion. A lot of like common MMO things were just simply missing from the game. I'll admit it. Like when season 1 originally came out, there were periods where I also didn't really log in. There have been like 1 or 2 releases that I've completely missed. I didn't do stuff for. It was rough at the start, but like with Heart of Thorns, it definitely picked up, and I think once again, like I mean, definitely shows, right? I think Darren's when did you start playing again exactly?
I don't exactly remember. It was just like a lot of free to play games, like they were like, they were just like.
And I mean, Guild Wars 2 specifically. Like when did you kind of start playing it again?
On the just the start of the pandemic. I think it was February, March 2022. Okay, it was like just around there. I was kind of tired of WoW. And I was kind of very mad at Blizzard and the whole BFA memes. I was gonna eventually come back, but I mean that never happened. But yeah, it was around there. It was around there.
Yeah. So basically, right before episode re-released, I think, like the Drizzlewood stuff. The Drizzlewood stuff, I think, is when that came out. Yeah. That's when there was the first episode that they released without voice acting, so that's when the pandemic just started.
Yeah.
Oh, it already sounds like pretty long ago if you think about it. Yeah. Sometimes it's insane to me that, for example, Vaughn has basically played the game, and the game hasn't released any content while he is here.
Yeah,
and with Darren's, it has been a few episodes, and it's kind of been a little bit of a little bit of a drought. It's a little bit of a desert out there, even though we're no longer in the desert. It was quite cold. But we're warming up, and things are looking bright now. So
I did skip the real desert, right? Like the Path of Fire.
Yeah.
That over.
The
I actually
desert.
like Ashford Saga a lot. Right? The actual desert, I kind of skipped it, but I actually like Ashford Saga a lot. I know the memes, the story, blah blah blah. But I did like the content. I think it was fun, and because I was a new player, the strikes were perfect for me, right?
Yeah.
And then of course COD was okay, and then I didn't play the Wars 1, so even that kind of worked out for me as well. So I for me, the drought is kind of almost not existent, okay? But I'm a lucky guy.
Same.
Yeah, I think that's definitely the case for people who have only started like quite recently. There's such a backlog to get through. Like, I'm in a position where I've pretty much seen it all. The only achievement points, for example, I've left are in competitive, and I'm not a big competitive gamer, unfortunately. So I'm not really going for those last ones. But for people that are just joined, like for example, Darren's is on an A, right? He's on a North American service. I'm on a U, and I've created I already had an account to play on an A, but I recently started building it up, and just the entire backlog of things you can do in the game or things to progress that I've done over the years on my EU account.
Yeah.
It's insane how much content there is, and especially for people that are just now playing, there's so much to get through. That probably not going to finish a lot of the stuff before season 6 comes out, but we'll talk about potential roadmap later. I do want to talk about the roadmap a little bit as well, because we do have to cover a little bit of news, even though there's quite a lack of news right now. But yeah, the reason why we're here, the reason why this episode, well, actually not yet. We're going to talk about one other thing. How did you actually get involved with Heartstock? Because I know Vaughn just got asked, right? Vaughn got asked by Darren's. Darren's asked. For those that who asked, Darren's asked.
Pretty much.
I saw him. I knew.
But Mr. Darren's, how did you get in contact with Heartstock?
I was watching T-Bot.
As 99% of these people,
Yeah, T-Bot made me. He got me into the cult. I didn't want to, but here I am. No,
the Overlord.
Yeah, I don't remember why I
cult leader.
Watching T-Bot, though. I have no idea. I think I started watching Muckluck first because he had all the guides, and how do I get gold? And I started watching him. But eventually, I think I started just watching Twitch. I used to watch Twitch, but not Guild Wars 2 Twitch around in the day, and I saw this, T-Bot, the biggest streamer in the category, and And he was kind of actually kind of like me. He's like a guy that like debates. I loved at the start debating him. I probably got him mad a few times. I don't actually remember about over what, but then I was like, whatever. And then eventually started talking about this Hearthstone thing or whatever. Actually, at the start, it didn't have a name even. But he was talking about like this game is great, and sure, Anet might sometimes make some bad decisions, but we can, the community can make a better game. We can make it better. And I was like, yeah, that's true. That is true. And I like this game a lot. And I don't understand why it's not popular. I'm mad about it. I just don't get it.
Yeah.
I'm going to help. Okay. And I think at some point they decided for the Hearthstone name and they started doing stuff. Now, I couldn't really do a lot because, I mean, I'm kind of bad at the game. Well, maybe not anymore that much, but I used to be a lot. And I couldn't really help at all. I couldn't really read raids or anything, so I was like, "Oh, I guess I'm stuck here, not doing anything." But eventually, Jedrick started doing meta trains. I was like, "Oh, that's fun. I like I like metas. I don't do that many, but I do them. I want to do that. That's fun. That's Pog." And I asked him for help. He helped me He told me how to do it. He gave me some copy pastas. He told me many of them, and I was kind of scared of them a lot because there's not many. Sure, the metas are very easy to like do. But like I don't know, when you're a commander, you're like, man, I must know everything about the meta, otherwise I'm just memeing people. And
Yep.
there's not a lot of resources to like understand how the meta
Yes.
actually works.
Mhm.
So I had like, oh, please help me. And eventually I just started him. I started doing them in the morning because he did it at night. And actually, I'm a morning gamer. I like doing stuff in the morning so I can have the rest of the day off.
A
And I
gamer.
started doing that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And eventually, well, that's kind of what happened. And then I started doing that. And of course, I do other stuff for Hearthstone. I try to organize events and stuff, like talk to people and everything. But the meta train is like the thing I do the most for sure. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's kind of how it got in. And I'm committed to the cause because I do want to. I think this game is great. I think it is the best MMO in the market.
True.
It might have their problems or whatever, its problems, but that's okay, because I like the community. I like
Yeah.
being part of the community, and I want to
Yes.
help as much as I can. Okay.
Oh yeah, I want to talk about the community actually. Yes.
You want to
Yeah, you
talk
go.
about it.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
our podcast. We can
Oh,
talk
man.
about what we want.
Community. That is, yeah, I'll say the biggest reason, actually, it's not even one of the biggest. It is literally the biggest reason for me to become a commander and love this game as much as I do is the community. Because what happened was I started the game and I streamed the game, right? I immediately started streaming the game. It took me like 3-4 days. And the amount of people who showed up, who were just willing to help me just because I was new, it was insane, man. Like, I have said this at the very beginning. I have said this throughout like the 90th day of my journey into the Guild Wars, and I'm still saying it. This game definitely has the best community in the gaming history. I don't mean to say that, like I don't mean to exaggerate that or anything. It is actually true. Of course, PvP and everything, when there's like competition involved, people get mad and everything. Everybody brings up the PvP immediately when I say this. But man, the PvE community, holy moly! Like, I have had people who train me for raids. I've had people who trained me for strikes. I've had people who trained me for fractals. Everything, like whatever I wanted to get into, a new person would show up, be like, "Hey, you want to do this?" I'm like, I'm kind of scared,
Do
like raids. That's like because when you hear raids, you're like, oh, World of Warcraft raiding. You go in there, you're like in there for like 6, 7, 8 hours. I'm like, I don't know if I want to do that. And we just got brought into that, blasted through it in 2 hours, and we got completely explained what to do with my friend Just Draw Cats again. It was just insane. I was like, oh my god, this is insane. Like, people in the open world, I would be just doing stuff. Randomly, somebody comes up to me and like, hey, do you need some help? I'm like, sure. Like, how do I do this jumping puzzle? Boom, somebody helps me. Just today it happened. I was doing Chalice of Tears. I didn't even notice. Somebody was like, hey, you need some help? I had the chat bubbles closed because I don't really have it open for the stream. I don't want somebody to type something random and then just get me banned. The guy's like, hey, you want some help? I'm like, Oh, hey, sorry, I didn't see your message, man. I appreciate it. I'm just looking through some tutorial and getting it done. Yeah, it's just amazing how much this game is just like the community of this game is just like so all around helpful. Like wherever you go, obviously there's like toxicity, like in every game there is, but
Exactly right. It's
Yeah.
it's everywhere. Like
yeah,
you know, talk about WoW has toxicity, but it also has like a very, you know, chill community somewhere.
Yeah.
I haven't found
Yeah.
it, but it's there somewhere. Same with Final Fantasy. Same as Guild Wars 2 also has, like, it's, you know, there are still some toxicity left in some place of the community, but definitely, yeah, it's been kind of been my experience as well. Like, there's been a lot of like wholesomeness going around, even though
yeah,
you know some people are definitely a little bit jaded still, but
yeah.
generally,
I mean,
like, it's pretty good experience. Like, onboarding wise, I think Guild Wars 2 is doing pretty well.
I agree.
Yeah,
But yeah,
I agree.
I think it's time to fully talk about the big elephant in the room. The elephant that is on this train, that is the meta train. Because we have been talking about the meta train, but actually, what is the meta train? You know, what goes on in the meta train? What is important when you're doing the meta train? How does one join the meta train, for example? How does one make money off the meta train? I can keep going on with these questions, and you guys are going to answer them. So maybe Darren's can help me out. What is the meta train? You know, what is it?
So, yeah. Okay. So essentially, I can explain metas first. So metas essentially worldwide maps. I mean events that happen in a map, and you have to get a lot of people to progress them and win them, right? And you know, you progress through the map, you end up getting to a big boss at the end, and you get your loot essentially. And what we try to do, and these are timed, right? They happen every certain amount of minutes. At this time in particular, every 2 hours or whatever. And what we try to do is like kind of weave them together, so there's no downtime in the middle, because there's a lot of them that you have to wait a lot for them to start, or you have like downtime in between or whatever. And we try to, you know, have the least downtime as we can, so we can get more profit. Well, I guess anyone can do it, right? You could just get the timer, and there's obviously some specifics in certain events that you have to like know. For example, after check, the most of the profit comes from the from check grant. It comes from the chest, not for the waiting. So what we do is we just leave. We don't wait for the wall for the 5-10 minutes that we have to wait.
The wall.
Just go to another map. Yeah, the wall. And
Can you guys maybe explain a little bit more, because I think for people that aren't super familiar, especially not all, everyone might be like familiar with the chat, Garen. What is the wall?
Yeah, essentially, you kill your check has essentially 4 bosses that you have to kill together, right? Otherwise, you fail. And after you win, you get this little chest. But also, there's a big wall that will open and get you more chests, and also open the way for Dragon's Stand, another map. And you can wait for these chests to open, so this wall to open, so you can enter. But you can also just skip it and go to another event, because honestly, those chests don't really give you a lot of gold, so it's not worth it. And you're just waiting, so it's kind of boring.
Gotcha.
Now, some people like it because, you know, they like, you know, going to eat in the middle and whatever. But we have other downtime in other places. So might as well just skip it, for example. Those are some things that you can do. Or for example, in Piñata, because in Piñata is another meta that you have to essentially collect coins. But honestly, you don't need that many coins, many people collecting them in order to spawn the boss. So you can just, go, eat something, wait for the boss to spawn, and then just continue, right? And there's a lot of instances of this, right? That's what we do, right? We try to make the best way so we can get as many events as we can. Of course, we try to get the most profitable ones, and or the most fun ones. For example, Triple Trouble might not be the most profitable one, but it's very, very fun, and it can give you some cool skins in the middle as well, and masteries and everything. So it's definitely worth doing. Or Marinette, for example, maybe. Oh, Marinette is still pretty good. But yeah, there's some exceptions, but overall that's what we try to do, you know, have fun and also get some gold for everyone. And the way you get the gold, I guess, is essentially it gives you the Metroid gives you a lot of mats and currencies, and you have to or transform them into other currencies or materials that you can sell, or items, or you can just, you know, sell them outright, just like go into the trading post and do that. And that gives you around just doing that, like just grabbing the currencies and transforming into materials and then selling them, it's probably around 20 gold plus per hour if you don't have good luck and you get like a very high drop, like an infusion or something. But
Yeah.
also there's other things that you can do, like transforming Imperial Favors into precursors or Gen 3s that give you way more
Right.
gold. But that's optional, right? So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, recently I saw a Reddit post about
Yeah.
citing Province being one of the most profitable metas to do. A little bit of a cheatsy dual way because you do have to tag all the events for the meta, which is a little bit, I would say, maybe not yet. Well, it's unhinged to do, but it's also quite. No, it's not very nice because what you're doing is you're tagging all the events. You're getting you're hitting all of them, but most of the time you're just traveling between them, which means you're not actually
You're
really
not doing anything.
You're not contributing.
Yeah, you're
right?
scaling them up.
Yeah, you're basically you're messing up the people that are actually doing the events.
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I think Fast used to do it like a full squad doing this. I think they all just moved around. I think that's what they did. But yeah, if you do this, if you're doing it alone, you're gonna mess up some people. But even if you don't do this, by the way, everybody, it's still very, very good. It's just that you have to do the Imperial Favor stuff, which is crafting, which is like essentially you like the amount of gold you get from the meta is a lot, but actually you also have to like waste some time afterwards doing the items in order to sell them. Now, of course, no one for example, every Fast because Fast is essentially a website that tells you how much gold each meta is or whatever it is, and those they don't really consider this, so it's not really relevant. But of course, everything you do will, I mean, the fact that you're gonna have to go into the trading post and sell stuff is already time that you're gonna use other than actually doing the meta train, right? So essentially, it's kind of weird. It is a lot of gold, but yeah, I mean, the post was kind of right, but also kind of wrong, right?
Yeah.
So,
a little bit right, a little bit wrong. It takes a bit of effort to get all of that out of it. So yeah, Bon, maybe you can tell me a little bit. You guys are racing. For example, one other thing I'm really interested in is like I see different variants of the meta train, right? There's a short meta train. There's a little bit of a longer one. Some of them are very long. I think like one of them is like up to 6 hours. I think.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
I think that's the one you guys usually do.
Yes, so that is the one that we usually do during the weekdays. Because it's like, if we don't have anything special going on. Like today we had to do the short one just because, the podcast was going to happen.
Sorry, team. Sorry. Sorry, gamers.
Yeah, how could you, man? Everybody lost some money today. Oh, man.
Wow.
But
I'm not reimbursing them. No, not doing it. That's my money.
But yeah, basically it's just like it's like 5.5 or 6 hours in general. It's like 20-25 gold per hour pretty much. And we just, blast through it. So the thing is with Darren's has been doing this for a while, right? So people join his stream obviously, and he kind of got like the amount of people that he needs to kind of get a meta going, even without any LFG people joining, if that makes sense. So it's like easier for him to like get some things done, like Triple Trouble, because like Triple Trouble is like a scary event, right? Like there has to be some sort of coordination in between. So for me, for instance, like when I first started, obviously I didn't have anybody, right? Like I was just like doing it with Darren's, and I was LFGing. I was trying to get people from Heartsug, and he was helping me out, of course. But eventually down the road, you keep getting some more people. Because if you do it especially consistently, you get more and more people, right? Like people keep seeing your name, especially if you do the same event at the same hour every day. Especially Dragon's End. It's like Dragon's End is one of the biggest ones because it's like all the end game players are there. You will keep seeing the same people who constantly join, basically. And down the road, like I got some people who kept showing up on my streams and whatnot, and then, we just got it rolling. And now it's just like, it's happening every day. We're just chilling with it. It's fun. The races. It is fun.
Yeah.
And
sure. And I think a big thing that maybe not a lot of people think about is that you kind of want to start the meta train with like a good, like very popular event. Because
Yeah.
then you get a lot of people for the next ones, right? And you want to
Yeah.
end with something like Dragon's End too, so people are like kind of. I mean, I don't want to say it's stuck, but they're kind of like, hey, I want to do Dragon's End, so I'm gonna, hey, might as well just stay for the whole train. Because, for example, today we had Dragon's End in the middle because it was like the shorter version of the train because of the podcast, and after Dragon's End, a lot of people left because they wanted Dragon's End and then just left, right? But if you put Dragon's End at the end as like the big epic finale or whatever, most people are gonna stay for the whole thing,
People
right?
will wait for
Yeah, and it's kind of also
Exactly.
fun because it's because we also do a race essentially that you know, one who
Yeah.
does it first, right? EU or an A, and
EU.
yeah, okay, well, you won today, but okay, we had 3 days in a row. Okay, that was also
That
very
is-
good. Okay.
I don't know.
Sure.
It sounds
You guys
like
actually
they're
got
a little bit
4 days, right?
salty, to be honest.
Yeah, I am
Parents?
salty.
Yeah.
I'm mad that EU
Yeah.
won. It's they
Yeah.
cheated.
May the
honestly.
condor
It's-
rise again.
Honestly,
Yeah.
Honestly, I said, you know what? We have a podcast today. I'm bringing the win to EU today. I've given you guys enough credit. You guys got 4 wins in a row. That's enough. Got a people
yeah.
stop right there, you know? It's like, yeah.
It's it's time for the condor to take down the eagle once more. You know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, once more.
Condor dusk.
All right.
As you can see
Okay.
in game, it's also kind of dark now. You know. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the race. Do we actually have a little bit of like an idea of what the current standing is for EU versus NA? Right.
should-
Do
Not
we,
really.
should
have,
we not talk about that, or do we?
Oh, we could.
I mean,
Huh.
you mean like how many overall wins
Overall, like,
NA
yeah.
has?
Yeah.
I don't think I haven't counted.
We never kept track of it, but that's a good
Oh.
idea, actually.
That's a good
That
idea.
is a good idea.
Yeah.
We should do that.
Yeah.
What if we do it monthly or something, or maybe weekly?
We could turn this into a
we
bigger
could have-
thing.
I don't like that.
Yeah, we can have like multiple more leaderboards, like maybe one overall, forever, one weekly, one monthly, or
Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
we can have seasons, okay?
seasons. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know who was the best meta gamer, or who were the best meta gamers? Well,
Yeah.
actually, this could be a very good idea. Like honestly, Renorb, if you're watching right now, it's time to listen. You know, we need this implemented. We need a page, or we need a web page that keeps track of who won the meta train. Boom, Renorb, if you're here, if you can hear me in the basement, do that. Let's go.
More work for the basement. Oh,
The
no.
The developers
Oh,
are making
no.
overtime. I was
Man.
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm sorry, guys.
We're now a software company and an entertainment company because we're making a
Yeah.
podcast, right? So we're diversifying a little bit.
Yeah.
I did some trusting for the new guild system recently, with like API key addition and stuff, and it's been interesting to see them. I honestly, maybe talking a little bit about the future already, but I kind of want to see the developers of the Discord bot and that sort of thing for Hearthstone in here at some point
Yeah.
as well, because
That'd be good.
I think that it will be a good third episode, but I'm not sure if they want to. You know, the basement, it's kind of cozy. It's nice and warm in here. It's nice and warm there, you know, and here it's kind of cold.
Yeah, it is.
But yeah, that
Well-
is the meta train. One thing I also wanted to say, do you also get a lot of people who are like, for example, not every meta is as easy to complete, as easy to complete as another meta, right? For example, I think a very good example is Auric Basin is basically free farm. You can show up to a map fairly late, and most of the time it won't fail, right? People will kill south, everyone will yell picnic. It's good, right? But for example, Triple Trouble, I'll be honest, when I was doing the stuff on my NA account, I have snuck in a few times because, there's some mastery points behind killing the Triple
Yeah.
Trouble thingies.
Yeah.
4 of them for Corteria, and there's, if you don't buy season 2, there's not a lot of them. So, it was kind of handy to have the meta train, carry me through that and
Yeah.
get those mastery points.
To be fair, Decap, a guild that does Triple Trouble, help. They run it, honestly.
Oh
I
yeah,
just
that's true.
leech,
Yeah,
okay?
yeah, yeah. You leech.
I
Yeah.
just leech. Okay, I'm one of the commanders. I help. Okay, that's true. But they are the ones organizing. I'm just there helping as well. But at the end of the day, they are the ones that. And EU is actually doing their own Triple Trouble now. Just at the time we are doing it. Kate has been doing that a lot with Van and everything, and they're actually succeeding most of the time. So hopefully, maybe one of these these days on EU we have a HS time slot for Triple Trouble.
For Triple Trouble, yeah. Is that also Decap Guild? Because I completely forgot about Decap. Because it is. We're providing bodies, but Decap is leading most of the time. With you usually picking up one tag, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I took up. Yeah. They told me everything, right? I didn't know how to do it. I think it was because I think people one day randomly he says like, "Oh, bro, you have to do Triple Trouble now every day, or I will kick you out of HS." That's what. No, I'm just kidding. No, he just said like, "Hey, bro, you could do Triple Trouble. It'll be nice. You just do it." And then I talked to Decap, and they helped me, right?
Sounds like a very very teapot thing to say.
No, I didn't actually say.
You have to do it, or we're gonna kick you.
You have to do it.
You have to do it.
No.
Or you're going in the basement.
Yeah. No, but it was a good idea because I really liked it, and it's good. It's very good content, and I made a lot of friends on Decap too. I really am happy that I can play with them. It's pretty cool. So I'm happy. It was good.
Yeah. So of course you're doing a lot of metas, right? Pretty much I want to say all of them, but not really. I think you are missing a few of them because they simply don't really line up with the schedule.
Yeah.
What would you say you guys are like? What is your favorite meta in the game? And is it in the meta train?
Yeah. You wanna go on?
You should go first.
No, because I have the.
I'm baiting here. I'm baiting here.
I know what you're gonna say.
Too much information. Okay, I want you to go first. Okay, then I can just say why you're wrong. Okay.
Okay.
Your opinions.
My favorite meta. Honestly, I think this is because of how difficult it is, and it's because it's my first meta that I led. It's Dragon's End actually. I got my commander tag, and I had a friend who was leading it daily. And she just kind of helped me out, and I was like, you know what? I want to do this as well. And I got into it, and I was like, oh my god, I love this. This is actually great. And yeah, the first ever thing I led was actually Dragon's End. And from there, I just But yeah, I think I would have to say Dragon's End. Now, Darren's answer. Oh man, I can't wait for yours.
I know the answer.
I would sadly have to agree. Okay, because I do think Dragon's End is the best one.
Oh, spicy!
I think I have my tier list right here, just so I don't change my mind. But yeah, Dragon's End is at the top. Okay, just followed by Triple Trouble, Marionette, Dragon's End, and Battle for Landsarch. Although Battle for Landsarch is at the top, S+ tier, because Battle for Landsarch is absolutely great. I love that you don't have to you don't have to circle around, but you actually have to split in order to make it in a good time. I think that's pretty cool. And I think it's one of the best events designed. Okay, it's very, very nice.
Is that actually something?
I also like.
Completely. Is that also something that you managed to achieve? Because, for example, a lot of commanders will say split across X, Y, Z, but there's also that subset of player who are just like, there's a thing above your head. I'm following it, right? How does that kind of work for you? Oh, there's tricks for that. Ooh, you debate them?
You debate them. That is exactly what you do. Yeah, exactly. So what do you do? Because there's certain points. For example, I think Battle for Landsarch is actually a good example. There's a lot of points where people just tend to go there. East and the Spider Queen because of the achievement, or because it's very close. They usually go there. So what I want to do, this is fam, help me with this one, okay? What you want to do is you go in with them, and then you start moving around to the other places, okay? And then you get a lot of people there and to the other point, and then you start moving to the other one, and then you just disappear. You just teleport to another place, and then they start moving you, and eventually, everything will be around, spread out. Also, spamming split please on the squad broadcast also helps a lot, okay?
For sure.
So there's some tricks that you can do, and eventually it will work. But it is hard. Honestly, making people split is actually the hardest thing.
Listening is a thing on its own, right? It's pretty. It can be rough, reading, listening.
I mean, to be fair, I understand, right? Because you don't want to be the guy that is alone. Is like, oh, I'm alone and I'm dying and I'm not getting money, right? That you don't want to be that guy.
Yeah.
But also, people go to the east, top to northeast on Battle for Landsarch because of the achievement. But the problem is the achievement gets scaled up, and whenever you have a lot of people, it's impossible. Okay, so essentially, there's an amount of people that go every day trying to get it, and they never get it. But if they a few people just leave, everyone would get it. It's just I don't know. They're
So what you're saying is you're
condemned
trolling the
to their own
community.
pain.
You're trolling the
Yeah.
community.
I mean, I don't know. I'm trying to save them. I'm trying to please leave, just move so you can get your achievement, and then the other guys get the achievement, but they just don't.
Oh,
they're just scared. They don't want to miss it.
Oh no! I went to character select. Oh no!
Oh,
Oh no!
Oh no!
Too long AFK for too long.
Yeah, wait, we don't talk about that. We don't talk about my characters, okay? You know, want to see my DRM? I love DRMs, but they're not part of.
DRMs are great.
Oh shit! There's a gazelle on the way now. Well, actually, the gazelle can stay. That's good. I like the gazelle. His name is the Response Gazelle, because you know, Dragon Response missions. Yeah. Ooh, that threw me off. Now I had another question ready. Yeah. I want to talk about Serpent's Ire though, because you guys have been talking about Serpent's Ire, and I've seen it in the chat. Hallie has mentioned it.
There it is.
Serpent's Ire. What's the thing with Serpent's Ire? You know, a snake, a hydra, 4 heads, a bunch of other snakes. What's up with Serpent's Ire? What's the deal with you and Serpent's Ire?
Yeah, please explain, Darren. I want to know this as well.
Serpent's Ire. Serpent's Ire is just okay. So I wanted to start Serpent's Ire because back in the day I didn't no one does that, right? So I was like, oh, maybe maybe it's a good event. Maybe I can find a way to do it fast and people can do it. And maybe it's a lot of gold. Who knows, right? And I started doing it, and I didn't understand how it worked. Okay, we made so what happens in Serpent's Ire is that you're in Domain of Babi, and I don't know if you guys know, but there's essentially like a Krakatoric cloud that will, if you are in the ground, it will start hitting you, okay? And you essentially have to go to this place, kill a lot of ads, a lot of ads, so they spawn like the lieutenants of Krakatoric or whatever. And once they spawn, you have to grab your Griffin, and if you don't have a Griffin, this is horrible, but just grab your Griffin, I guess, and search for them during the whole on the whole map, which is pretty fun. You don't really, and you have a timer to do it, and so it's pretty cool, right? And then you kill them, and then you have to fight, go to the middle of the map, to the north, in a little square thingy, kill some more ads, and then spawn the big boss at the end. But the boss is very weird, okay? It's very, very weird. What essentially it does is that there's like one Hydra that essentially does attacks that miniaturize you and make you take do less damage. And there's the big boss that will revive the Hydra once it's dead. So you kind of want to focus the priest, the big boss. But the boss has a thing that makes it so from time to time, ranged attacks will not work, only melee. And sometimes melee attacks will not work, only range. So you have to switch around in between them. And also, randomly, I still don't know why this happens, some sparks start spawning, and they make the boss invulnerable at around 25%. And it takes a long time, and you can get multiple ones. So instead of a 10-minute kill, it can become like a 15-minute kill, or even more. It's horrible, right?
Or fail, because it fails a lot, I think.
Yeah.
I've
never seen it fail, but yeah, I would believe it. I would believe it. And I still don't know, but sometimes it just skips the spark phase, and I have no idea why. I have an Excel sheet with all the kills, times, and everything, trying to figure out why it happens. I still don't know. I think it's just sometimes you have a lot of DPS, because I was talking to Cillian, another guy that runs Serpent's Ire specifically on EU every week, and he told me that he has never seen the spark skip. And that tells me, because their squad probably is less big, is tinier. They probably don't have enough DPS. And so that's what happens, right? And because we usually come with 2 squads of 50 people, there's something to do with that. But I still don't know what it is, and that's why I'm kind of obsessed with it, because I just want to figure it out. Okay, and I love when we get the skip. It's like, I don't know why it happened, but that's awesome, right? So I'm kind of obsessed over it.
I mean, that
it's not about gold either. Okay.
Well, I mean,
it's not that horrible.
I think there's mostly achievements tied to it. I think there's like 1 or 2. I think there's one in like the Path of Fire category, and there's one for, I think, the back piece from Sandswept Isles, I think, has a thing to it attached to it. So there's only really 2 times to do it, and I think the alternative is Forged with Fire, which is Timur and Tegan, the 2 Balthazar dogs, the Forged dogs in the Foundry. Which, let's be real, less likely to fail. And Darren's apparently hates it. Yeah.
No, I hate it. Well, I don't like to be just sit there with an emblem face every fucking 5 seconds. Okay, it's just too much. Okay, it's like I just want to go. I just want to kill the boss. I like why do I have to wait? It's like it triggers me. Okay, just it makes me mad. Okay, but that's why I choose to do Serpent's Ire. But I mean, Forge of Fire is okay. To be honest, it's okay.
It's an okay meta. But yeah, you guys are both fans of Dragon's End. I mean, I have to admit, Dragon's End, fantastic meta. It is a little bit, can be a little scary. I think nowadays it doesn't really fail, but I have still seen it fail a few times, Sue won the Earthworm. She has won a few times.
Yeah.
I guess, we have the meta train to thank that for, because, like, once again, you're carrying usually, like, 50 players around. Even with, like, the speed, you're sometimes doing metas, right? For example, you would just show up to an Auric Basin meta, basically as the doors are about to become vulnerable and you can attack and open the doors, right? Usually people show up 10 minutes early-ish to kind of, get there, make sure they have a spot. But that's, I think, a very big upside from doing the meta train as well, is that you can simply... You basically have your entire map. You're just moving the map. You're just moving the map around to another map, and you're able to do all the metas yourself. Look, I got teleported. Nice. We're now no longer where we usually are. Sue Won has either won or lost. Yeah, interesting. But yeah, I think maybe there's a few other things we can talk about the Metatrain, but maybe it's smart if people have questions regarding the Metatrain or anything related to these lads, right? Put them in chat. We can answer them right at the end. Because I do want to talk about a little bit of like news things or things that you guys would like to see from Guild Wars 2. I mean, we need to make a distinction here, right? We have predictions and we have things that aren't predictions that we are basically our wishes, right? What we want to see. It's still January, the start of a new year, 2023. According to some of you, not going to be the year of Guild Wars 2, but it will definitely be. I think it will be a good year. It's the year that we've been promised a lot of good stuff is coming. And first of all, right now we're dealing with Lunar New Year, right? Have you guys done anything with Lunar New Year so far? Buying your envelopes?
I actually I have only done like the envelope stuff. I've gotten the races done. I don't really chase around the events much. I even missed the Snow Day event achievement sweater, and I feel so bad because I'm such a fashion sucker. I'm such a sucker for fashion, and I noticed that I missed it, and I was like, oh, how could I do this? Now I have to wait a whole year again, and it was my first Snow Day as well. But Lunar Year, I've seen Darren's play some Dragon Ball, and it looks kind of fun, I'll be honest. It looks kind of fun. It's like a PvP match, but like casual,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. During the podcast, I've been playing Dragon Ball. I was doing the dance. I lost twice.
Of course. Yeah, you lost twice. Oh, okay. But did you win?
Well, I wasn't paying attention, okay? I was trying to pay attention. I just got farmed, okay? But I got the daily done, so it's okay.
No.
It's okay.
The man's just playing Guild Wars 2.
Yeah, of course. I'm ADHD and okay. I need to do the stuff. Okay, what can I say? But no. To be fair, it's just I do the dailies. I want every skin in the game. That's my big goal. And the Lunar Elf festivals have a lot of fashion, a lot of skins that they have. So I need to do them. It's not a choice. Okay, I don't like, even if I don't like it, I just have to do it. So no, but I do like Lunar Festival. I think it's fun. I like it. I don't like Dragon Ball that much though. I like more the Celestial Challenge.
Celestial Challenge.
I just like hitting stuff.
So when are we seeing Celestial Challenge speedrun? Oh, actually, it's kind of hard because you can't really get like a full squad in, I think.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's actually one of the reasons why I don't do Tower of Nibur, for example, because it's 25 people. That's just so horrible. I wish I could get everyone in, but it just doesn't work.
Yeah, so what you're saying is you need more. What you need is more commanders, I guess. We need more commanders to do the meta train.
Yeah, but also it's like what do I say? Like, hey guys, let's split into two tags so we can do one event. It's kind of like it's kind of sad, right? Also, although to be fair, another problem. Yeah, we do need more commanders because a lot of people, a lot of times the squad gets full during the meta train, and you're like 50 out of 50, and you know there are like 10 people waiting, and you're like, oh, I can't get them in. Honestly, if you could have like 100 people in your tag, that would be like, oh, that would be the dream.
Well,
But
you can't get them all on the same map, unfortunately. But I think,
yeah.
I think
Yeah,
big
for
shout out to Fam, because Fam is usually running it with you, and I think he's doing it on an A as well.
Yeah.
It's kind of good that you guys are both in opposite regions, but yeah, like I can imagine the frustration of some people when, you know, you want to join the meta train. You know, you see all these people having fun on stream, and you're just like, oh, 50 out of 50. I guess I will not be able to get in. Unfortunate.
Yeah, it's sad, right?
Yeah.
Of course, sometimes you know if you wait, eventually the spot will appear, right? But it is sad that there's like waiting, especially in Dragon's Den, because honestly, we can fill up. We usually fill up at least 2 maps, and I'm pretty sure we could get a third. At the same time, I think.
I
but
think
eventually,
Dragon's Den is possible. I agree.
yeah. But like it's a matter of time, right? I try to get as many commanders as we can. Noggin also helps a lot. Phase helps a lot. Shock as well in my chat out. They all help a lot, and they try and you know Noggin. She's from the West Coast. She just wakes up at 4 a.m. to do the Metatron with me. Okay, she's absolutely unhinged.
Oh no!
Holy
yeah, and I may
wow.
If she doesn't do it, I'm just gonna ban her on my chat. No, I'm just kidding. No, but she's very cool. She's very cool. And,
Disclaimer: She's not doing it.
No, I'm not doing that. She can do it if she wants. She doesn't have to. But you know, I appreciate it very much, and I'm glad that we can do that. It's very fun.
Yeah. So yeah, I think big elephant in the room. Besides the big elephant we just pushed out of the room. I think the entire Guild Wars 2 community is kind of waiting on what's next right now. It's been hotly debated. You know, T-Pod's been saying Lunar New Year, or well, when Lunar New Year ends, we're gonna see roadmap. I'm personally of the kind, I would like to see it at the end of this week, a week before Lunar New Year ends. Well, maybe it's not happening, but what do you guys think? Like, what would you guys like to see in Guild Wars 2? You know, basically, if we were to do this again at the end of the year, what have we gotten over that year, right? What would you guys like to see? Tell me.
Who was first?
Should I go first?
Yeah,
I think you should go first. I have you should go first because I'm a new player. I have a lot of opinions about the game, and I have whole opinion about the game. So I think you should go first. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I think for starters, for the roadmap, I was expecting it way earlier. And it's kind of weird for me because I'm only been in the golden era of ANET communication. Okay, so I'm like, oh, why are we not getting the roadmap? We usually get it just after the roadmap before. And this, you know, I don't even care. I don't think it's a Scorpion. Okay, this is what I think. Okay, because Liberon Season 6 or whatever they're gonna do, it's coming. Okay, so here's my prediction. I think the roadmap is gonna come with a little bit of a mini cinematic for Liberon Season 6, and that's why they're taking so long. That's my opinion. That's what I think. It might be copying for you guys, but I think that's what it is. And I said it on my chat. If the cinematic doesn't appear on the roadmap when they release it, I'm ectogambling 5 times. I'm gonna lose all my goals.
Only 5 times?
Yeah, 5 times. I'm doing it. Yeah, only 5 times, okay? That's what's gonna happen, okay? 100%.
No.
Well, if you do it 5 times, you're gonna have at least get another, 125 back. So you need to at least do it 6 times because at that point, you could lose all your gold. Yeah.
No, because I'm gonna do it on the script.
Oh.
Because the script is I need the achievement. I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna win 100%. I've lost 10 times like in the past week, so I mean I have to win eventually, right? That's definitely how it works, right, guys?
No.
That's definitely how it works, right, guys? No, but yeah, I mean, I do think so. I do think that the roadmap probably should come next week, especially because there's gonna be, I guess, a patch on next after Lunars happens, right? In my opinion, what they could do if they're struggling for time, that's what I would do. It's like roadmap next Tuesday. Then just after Lunar's festival stops, a little bit of a balance patch or something to keep people waiting for whatever is in the roadmap.
Yeah.
Maybe some other content and whatever in the middle, and then maybe in March or late February the Lunar Season 6 first episode or something. I don't know. But that's what I would expect. I don't think it's. I mean, I think the roadmap That's essentially what's gonna have, at least on this part. I would really like some type of fractal rework, especially how I don't know. I was watching Preach this week, and I really hate the fact that you can get so little ascended gear from fractals unless you're StarCrafting, okay? But it's just and the agony and everything. Oh, I want to do fractals. Oh, I can't because I don't have agony. Like, bro, like, it just, I hate it.
It's a little bit of curve there, yeah.
Yeah, I hope that
He's
they
change.
Yeah.
You mean you want an agony rework, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, I would actually like also the, you know, like, I mean, maybe this is copium, but like tier 5s will be pretty nice, or something like that. Because I mean, you know, to be honest, even though I love fractals, guys, I love them, and I do like the fact that they die very fast on tier 4s. I think it's fun. But I do think, you know, sometimes they die a little bit too fast. So a little bit of like more health everywhere would be kind of nice, in my opinion. But that would be Pog. But I mean, maybe that doesn't happen. But I do think, and it kind of has to do something with the 5-man content, because we haven't gotten any in a few times. You know, they're doing reworks with fractals and the instabilities or whatever.
It's been over 1,000 days. Yeah.
Yes. So you kind of have to, you know, they kind of have to decide on what to do, whether that is fractals or whatever. They kind of have to do it, right? So hopefully that happens. I think that will happen this year, to be honest. Whatever it is, it will happen. Whether it succeeds or not, we'll see. But that is my thingy. What else?
Yeah.
The X11.
The X11
getting better FPS. That'll be Pog. I mean, apparently they're gonna do it.
Yeah.
I have such horrible FPS everywhere. I just, I mean, I don't know. I'm using GeForce Now because of that reason. But maybe my computer is just bad. But it's just what happens to me. Okay. And I have everything on lowest. Okay. So there you go. That's my
I don't want to talk about the FPS, man. Some people are gonna bring up some really traumatic things that happened on my stream.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Oh, the piñata. I remember. Yeah.
The
piñata.
Should I pull it out?
Wait.
Oh man.
You can
explain it.
We can throw it in chat. I mean, you know, people will look at it. You have to explain it to me because I can't watch it, but.
So so what happened was basically the most recent patch. I'm pretty sure you guys remember. Like what was it? Like a week ago? I think it was a week ago, right? It was about a week ago.
It was. I think it was. Yeah, it was roughly a little bit more than a week ago.
Yeah, right.
Not last Tuesday, but the Tuesday before that.
Yeah. So what happened? Right. Oh man. I can't believe I'm talking about this. God, it gives me trauma. What happened was, basically a friend of mine who is kind of into tech, he was like, I can help you out with your FPS settings, right? And I'm like, okay, sure. And we go onto the thing, like we get onto my computer, we're like doing some stuff, we're like trying to kind of help it out and everything. We finish, right? The next day happens, I'm on stream, I'm doing my stuff. Suddenly the loading screens are really long. Like about 3 minutes, 4 minutes loading screens. And I'm thinking,
suspicious.
Is this because of him? Like, what did he do to my computer? He broke it even worse. Anyway, towards the end of my stream, I decide, you know what? I'll just go do a piñata. Right, we get on the map. And piñata spawns and my frames drop to 0. Like straight up 0. It's stuck. I can't do anything. And oh my god, man. It is completely stuck. I can't do anything. I'm on call with my friends and I'm saying, "Hey guys, did you guys kill it yet?" No answer. Nothing. I'm like, am I hitting it, guys? Can I? Is it happening? What is happening? Is it fine? No answers. Everything's back. Suddenly, piñata's gone. I'm staying. I'm looking at an empty screen. There's nothing there, and piñata's gone. EU has failed piñata, and yeah.
The best part is that like. At the end of the clip, or like, you know, when your FPS comes back, the first thing you kind of see is like the squad leader has left the squad. It's so good. God. Yeah, it's a good clip. I like that one. Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Yeah, you should spam it everywhere. Chatting.
That is a funny clip.
Yeah, that was pain, and eventually we figured out. I think it had to do with the updates and not with the stuff that we did with my computer. Because like the next day everything was fine and it was running way
Oh.
better than before. And yeah, man,
Honestly,
I hope they do something about
wait,
the FPS.
Do you
'cause-
run Arc DPS, by the way? Because Arc DPS has been
Yeah.
causing a few
Yes,
issues. That could have been the
yes.
case, right? Yeah, you're
I think
running
so,
Arc.
yeah.
It could have been.
Yeah.
Anyways, I don't want to 100% wrap it up yet because we do, a few people have asked me some questions. So yeah, I have my phone here. I'm gonna read some questions. So Taylor has asked, like, what classes or boons do you find you lack the most on the Metatrain? Like, for example, do you get enough quickness or for example, alacrity? Is there one thing you're like missing most of the time, or
For me, it's alacrity.
alacrity?
Really?
Yeah, I always miss
Yeah.
alacrity. Again, today
Wow.
it happened again. Yeah,
That
I
happened-
I believe, actually, right. I might be wrong on this, guys. It's because I'm kind of new also, but I believe it has to do with the fact that there are like maybe the alacrity classes are not as fun as quick classes or DPS classes. I think it has to do with that. Like currently, right? I mean, I don't know if this is an arguable thing or if it's like a fact, maybe. I think heal alac mech or alac mech in general is the best alacrity class, I guess, overall, like in general. So
Depends. Like, so you also have Spectre, right?
oh yeah,
Spectre, I think Spectre kind of takes the crown. I think.
See, the thing with Spectre, the problem with Spectre is it's ritualist gear. Now the ritualist gear, man, I am a new player, as I said. I was like, oh my god, Spectre looks so fun. It's like dip in the ground, get out, it's like wells and everything. It has some cool animations. I'm a sucker for animations. I just like everything when it's visually appealing. I was like, I want to play this. I didn't know about ritualist gear.
Yeah.
Right? When I picked this up, I didn't have legendary armor, nothing. And I started farming for it and everything. I look around, how do I get ritualist gear? It's like, you gotta do strikes. You gotta get like this, you gotta finish this achievement set, and then you can get like the trinkets from these strikes. You can get like the armor only by like crafting an armor, like an ascended armor, and then turning it into a ritualist. You cannot get any backpacks that is ritualist.
Well,
that was the case.
You can now.
You can now. Yes,
you can now.
yes,
Yeah.
I
There's
saw
one.
that.
There's one.
Fixed it, guys.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my god. So basically, like, it's just hard to get the ritualist gear. So Spectre is just like not played at all, right? Like for a new player especially, you're just not gonna touch it because it's so impossible to get the pieces. And yeah, then it's like, I guess I don't even know that many alacrity classes, right? Like that's the issue. Then yeah, I always lack alac. It's always the alac. 90% of the time it's alac. Sometimes I miss quickness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
For you,
yeah, for
I guess
me, maybe-
differently. I guess.
yeah, for me, I feel like it's always like 50-50. Like they're like alac days, they're quickness days, you know. But
Yeah.
maybe it can also be because I don't really care about the lag. So when I'm missing lag, I'm like, oh, whatever. And I'm always like, yeah, I got quickness, I'm happy, you know. And whenever I don't have quickness, I'm like completely depressed, and I change to a quickness class instantly. And it also it might be that too, that maybe people also think they care about quickness more, so they essentially play quickness classes because that way they always have quickness. Because dude, I play without quickness. I don't want to play. Okay, like that's horrible.
I guess that
so,
also
I mean-
I guess that also kind of like leads into another question that was asked by someone. For example, what do you like to play when you're doing the meta train, right? Because there's 49 other people, but there's also you. What do you play as a tagger? What do you guys prefer to play with when you're tagging up for the meta train?
You want to go, Darrens?
Okay. I don't know. I just at the start, I think I always played like I played Firebrand a lot because of quickness and because you could, especially in the DE days, because you could like stab, you have quickness, you have like a lot of things to like carry in case something goes wrong in Drown's End or whatever. But honestly, after that, I just try new classes every time on meta turns because I mean, we're not gonna fail, right? We're gonna be fine. So I can try new rotations, new builds, everything. So I just just go around whatever I like, honestly.
Mm.
And I know a lot of people, oh, you never play Elementals or whatever. I actually never die on Elementalist, even if I'm not playing Celestial. The thing I die the most, I don't know why. I just always die a lot on Warrior. I just maybe I just suck. I don't know. Every time I play
No.
Warrior, I just get obliterated. I downstate like 50 million times. I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but although when I'm playing Spellbreaker, Spellbreaker, okay, Spellbreaker is definitely one of the best things to play in
Oh
Overworld.
man, yeah,
Because you fall counter everything, you're so happy.
Yep.
You know, it's just absolutely
Yep.
great. And
that's
you can
true.
ignore so many mechanics. So I
Yeah.
definitely would like that. Yeah.
I
like
can confirm that I have seen you feed so many times on Warrior. You know,
Yeah.
you're just you're like talking and you like the Suwon, like the AoE slam just comes down and I don't know, you just feed 90% of the time whenever you're on Warrior. I don't know why.
I'm just talking to chat. Okay. I'm just talking to chat. I'm talking to the guy. I'm copy pasting, saving people, telling them to move, and then I die. Okay, I'm sacrificing myself for the better good. Like, yeah. So that's what happens, right?
Yeah. Vaughn, what's your pick? Darren's fucking feed is just funny to me. What's your favorite pick, Vaughn?
How can you even die on a Warrior? I'll be honest, though, that's difficult. My pick, currently, actually, I just like to run one of the boon classes. Funny enough, I don't have any Alacrity classes, actually. I only have 6 characters at the moment, and I think 3 of them are only boon classes. I'm currently playing Herald, actually. Quickness Herald, Power Quickness Herald, and oh my god, man.
Good.
What a class. What a class it is. It just brings so much to the table. It's so what is the word? Like it can be used like almost in any way. You can just do so much DPS, or you can be like, you know what? I'm just gonna bring some stab here today. And even when you bring that stab, you still don't lose as much damage. This was actually funny enough. I was watching Darren's play HDCM, and I knew he was like playing Quick Herald there, and like I just kind of was like, oh my god, that looks kind of fun. Let me pick that up, and I picked it up, and
it's very fun.
My lord, it is so much.
It is
fun,
very fun. Yeah.
Yeah, it is so good. Like, yeah. But other than that, I was playing some DPS. I actually started the game as a Warrior main. And I was my first character that I was playing was a Bladesworn, actually. I was like, right. So the Bladesworn has like a pretty difficult rotation, right? And it's like I just got onto the game, and I'm like, oh, this is pretty tough. Let me try to figure this out. Slowly, I figure it out. Down the road, I'm thinking, okay, well, I mean, I guess every class is this difficult. This is normal, right? This is the normal, I'm guessing. I switched to Virtuoso, Condi Virtuoso, and I'm just thinking, what have I been doing with my life? I've been working to do DPS instead of pressing 2 buttons and just like doing so much DPS instead. And
Guild Wars 2 has a lot of things where, sometimes swapping a class can make your experience in the game a lot better.
For sure.
I know of one person that also has been recently doing this and kind of like swapped away from another character. And I think her enjoyment is a lot better than it used to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is, yeah. The class affects the experience so much. It is insane. There are still times where I just go like, okay, maybe I'll bring some big DPS here, and I just pull out the Bladesworn. But like I've played it so much, and the rotation is so like demanding that it became like unfun for me. Like if I get on Bladesworn right now, I'm just like, oh man, I maybe not today. Like I barely touch my main character now. It's like
that happens.
Don't touch it. Yeah.
That happens. Yeah.
As an old Warrior main, that happens. I haven't really touched it either since I think end of Path of Fire. That's when I kind of like started. Yeah, like actually no, like roughly after Path of Fire came out, I kind of started branching out. And yeah, I rarely touch Warrior anymore. Basically, when new story comes out, that's when I touch it. So yeah, it's been almost a year now.
Damn.
Another question. I think after that we can somewhat start wrap it up. Someone also asked, like, how do you encourage people to tag up for doing metas, right? Is that something you guys are actively looking for to, get the community to more, like, how do you encourage someone to actually tag up, like take care of their own stuff and do more meta trains?
Usually most people just message. They're like, oh, I'm interested in doing tag and tagging up. How do I do it? What do I do? And what I usually do, actually, I want to talk about this a little bit, is that I give them lieutenant in my squad, so they can shadow me, and they can also practice the boons, like moving people around and everything, so they're not that scared of that as well. And honestly, even if you don't want to tag up, guys, if you ever want to like just learn how to do subgroups for raids or whatever, you can come into the train. I'll give you lieutenant. You can move things around. It also helps me because then I don't have to do it because it's a lot, honestly.
He's also streaming, guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
It gets very tough.
Yeah, it's a lot, right? It's a lot, and that happens. But also, I think it's a good. I mean, you would think maybe that it would be a big thing that makes people tag up, but I think I try to, every time we have a full squad, I say, guys, is anyone interested in like tagging up so you can get a second map going, so we can get more people in? I can just give you the tag, you'll be fine, you'll be carried by all the people here, because I mean they do this every day. You'll be fine, right? And sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. But it is a good encouragement, though. I do think that there's to be a tag, I do think you have to be essentially kind of like you have to have the will to do it. But I think everyone can get that will. I think it's very fun. Sure, and as long as you're not streaming at the same time, it's not gonna be that like insane.
That is true.
Right?
Yeah.
Like honestly, the reason why it's like maybe like a lot of stressful usually when you're streaming and everything is because you have to do the copy pastas. You have to talk. You have to see if you got a random message in Discord because something happened. You have to see the chat. You have to play the game. There is a lot, and a lot of things can go wrong as well. You have like in Dragon's End, you have like a lot of people that want to join and they can't because the map is full, or maybe the map is full and you can't get people in. You have to get a new map going, but it's too late. It's a lot, right? But if you're not streaming, you'll be fine, I think. So you should try it. You should get into any of our squads, Vaughn, Kate, Lemonade, me, whatever, and just start going. And we'll help you as much as we can. We'll give you the copy pastas. We'll give you literally everything. Okay, so
for sure.
Go in. Okay.
I mean, like for me, when I first tagged up, as I said, like earlier explained, it's just people. I think people are scared of tagging up because like the backlash they're gonna get, if that makes sense. Because from the community, like they're also scared to fail or something like that. Because if they fail, suddenly it's like commander's fault. Oh no, the commander has failed. That's why we have lost this meta or something like that. And I actually disagree with that. I don't think it's necessarily only commander's fault. And I will say, as a new commander, when I actually first picked up my tag, it was like nobody actually reacted in a bad way. I would literally say, guys, I'm a commander in training. I am learning the game. I have no idea what I'm doing. And so many people would actually be like, hey, if you do it this way, it's better. If we do it this way, it's better. They wouldn't say it in a bad way. Like they would just, sometimes they would whisper me just to not ridicule me, like actually, in the squad chat. Yeah. And it's like, it's so amazing how, like, you would be surprised of how many people actually are willing to help when it comes to that. I think it's more towards the fact that like people are just lazy. They don't really have that commitment to tag up and everything like that. But if you want to tag up, but you're scared to tag up, do it. Don't be scared. Just, if somebody says something, make fun of the thing that they said towards you and be like, you know what? Hey, I'm new. I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing. Let's just do this together. It is a game at the very end of the day, right? Like as much as you like, even if you take it as serious as possible, just tag up. I'm pretty sure there's gonna be a bunch of people who are gonna be willing to help you. As Darren said, if you want help, I'll try to help. Community gave so much to me when I started this game. I would love to give back to the community, which is why I'm streaming, I'm tagging up and everything like that. So yeah.
I want to say something.
Yeah.
I'm not doing Fungus Monks for 24 hours. I don't care how many fungus we put in the chat. It's not gonna happen.
I didn't ask for the fungus. That's people. It's just people doing it in the chat, Yeah. People want to see you do 24-hour Fungus Among Us. Because I have been told that one person in this call has actually done something Like
Yes.
24-hour Fungus Among Us.
No, my one hasn't done 24 hours, but he has done a lot of Fungus
A
Among Us.
lot of Fungus
Okay.
Among Us. What's your time, by
A
the way?
lot.
My time? Oh man, I have to check. It was something 57 something.
Wow.
57.
Yeah,
That's pretty good.
57 something. I'm not sure right now, but the first time I got sub-minute was it took me about 3 hours of me just grinding.
I mean, 3 hours is not that bad.
3 hours of non-stop though. And
Yeah.
I was supposed to end the stream, and I said, guys, I'll do 2 runs of Fungus Among Us. Come on, like it's fine. And
Gotta do it.
I was sick. And I said, guys, I will end. I promise I will end. And they said, copium. And they were right. I did it for 3 hours straight, and at the very end of it, I managed to get sub-minute 59 seconds or something like that. And yeah, I lost my shit. I was just jumping around everywhere. It meant a lot, guys. It meant a lot. Then I just offline, I would sometimes go to Fungus Among Us. Still do. And I eventually got to sub 58. And yeah.
Sub 58.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. I mean, that is a good time. I think I'm not sure what the actual leaderboard for Fungus Among Us is. I haven't really been paying attention to it. I got sub 105 the first time. Well, I mean, first off, the first time I did it with cheating with the axe, but then I did it legit. Yeah, you can use Executioner's Axe while you're a fungus, so you can just charge forward, which is highly illegal. Don't do that.
Oh wow. Yeah.
And then I did it again with some adjusted strats, no super speed either, and got sub 105. But now there's like a different strat that I haven't actually tried, and I need to get back to it. But honestly, Fungus Among Us is degen team. I'll probably be forced to do it anyways, but yeah. It's good.
You can be forced.
Yeah.
You have
I
free
mean,
will.
it is. It's the only relevant content in the game, I will say. Fungus Among Us is the only relevant content in the game. This is true and real, and nobody can deny this.
Teapot would like to have a word. You should get in touch with Teapot. Maybe you're the one who should take my spot in the next prog, for the ultra hard strike. Maybe, you're only you. You play Rev. I mean, you could do it. Like it's fine. Maybe you're the one who's gonna be the next Voidwalker, whatever the new title is going to be, right?
I want to get that done actually. I want to get HTC.
Yeah.
You should actually wait. How much experience do you have with raids? Maybe you should sign up for bootcamp.
I have done all of the raid CMs. Actually, Doom CM just very recently it's been completed.
Yeah. You're probably ineligible to join the bootcamp in that case, but
I know, yeah, I cannot.
Yeah, unfortunate. But I mean, it would have been a good opportunity, right?
One can do it.
You can do
One
it.
can be Voidwalker. He can
Definitely.
Do it.
He can.
Oh yeah,
he can do it.
I actually this might be a little too far, but I kind of want to lead the first HTCM win that I get. I want to command it on my own.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, so I want to basically sit down. I want to figure out every single strat, kind of come up with a comp, and just get 10 people and like lead it to victory, So yeah, we'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see how it goes.
I think that actually we'll see. It's something that looks to the future. I think that's a good thing to kind of end it on. We've done, we've talked a lot about a lot of things. We've talked about, about you guys. We've talked about the meta train, our big elephant that we pushed out the door.
Yes.
We've talked about, a little bit of stuff that's going on. What do we want to do? I think it's time to somewhat wrap it up here. To wrap it up, I think I'm gonna give you guys both 1 minute. I'm gonna get a timer here.
Wow.
I'm gonna give you 1 minute to chill yourself. There's a timer here. Let's start with Vaughn. Vaughn, where can we find you? Here goes the timer. Let's go.
Oh,
it's going.
It started. It started.
Yeah,
Okay, guys,
go.
you can find me on streams, twitch.tv/Von_Nui. Also gonna be actually posting stuff on YouTube. It's going to be YouTube. I guess it works like at Von_Nui. The same thing. You can find me in those places. You can also find me on Twitter. I don't really use actively Twitter, but same thing at Von_Nui. Yeah, that's pretty much it. But you will mostly see me on the streams. Twitch.tv/_Von_Nui. Yeah.
You got 20 seconds left. What are we gonna fill it with?
EU is better than an A in the meta trains, and this is a fact, and I have proven this today. Yes, that's what I would like to end it on.
This man managed to do it in under 50 seconds, so that's good. We're gonna end there. Von Nui, ladies and gentlemen, and then Mr. Darren's. Once again, here we go. Boom.
Okay.
1 minute.
Well,
where can we find you?
You can you can follow me in Darren's with us in Twitch. That's where I usually do the all the meta trains. We also advertising, of course, in the Hearthstone Discord, so you can just check out there. It's called Darren's with us because every time I would raid someone, they would call me Darren instead of Darren's. So I mean, I put Darren's with us, so they would stop doing that. I was kidding. It's not a big deal. It's a good meme. And you can also, I guess, follow me on subscribe to me on YouTube. I do try to make videos there, shorts of like funny moments. That happen on stream, and for example, I'm also gonna put the meta tier list there, of course. So you can subscribe to me there in Darren's Givers 2 on YouTube. And I think that's oh well, yeah, that's it. Right, I don't know how much time I have left.
You have 10 seconds left. I might have to turn this into 30, so people actually think about what they're gonna say, right?
Yeah, I agree. Serpent's Ire is the best meta in the game. Boom.
Boom. Yeah, that's a minute. There we go. We did it. That's the podcast for this time.
Wow.
Before we fully sign off, few things. You've been watching the Hardstuck podcast. We're Hardstuck. We're a Guild Wars 2. Well, we're a gaming org about everything Guild Wars 2. You know, we're here. We got massive fucking streamers. We got a website and stuff. A lot of that stuff is down below. For example, we've recently also added merch. I'm gonna just shout out a little bit. I'm gonna shill here as well. Look, Hardstuck merch. Look, I'm wearing a shirt that says Hardstuck. Pog. There's also like a sword on the side. It's cool merch. Get it now. Links in the chat thing. Join our Discord. It's above me over there. Join the Discord. Very fun. We got tweeters for all sorts of events. We organize rating tournaments. We organize fashion contests. We do a lot of charity stuff. Come check us out. Follow us everywhere. Who knows when episode 3 is going to be of the podcast? Maybe in June again. Will will hopefully be back, and we can do it again with Will. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a pleasure, and we'll see you guys next time, I guess.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Actually, how do I end this? Ooh, ending screen. Look. Ooh, ah.